Today in class you solved problems that looked like this. You were given a calculator and you were asked to find why this one really equals 13 and this one really equals 6. And you found out here that if you multiplied 5 times 2 and then added, you got the right answer. So this one says multiply before you add. This one says multiply before you subtract, because 30 minus 24 is 6. When we did this one, you had to divide before you multiplied. And this one, you had to subtract before you add. And maybe we didn't discover the actual rule, but it definitely told us that there is an order. And like very many things in life, putting on your socks before you put on your shoes, getting out of bed before you turn on the shower, order is important. And in math, there is an order when you are solving problems with more than one operation. And so that rule is called order of operations. Two popular ways to remember it. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You met her today in class. She'll hang out in our classroom as a reminder of the order of operations. But in my years of teaching, I found out that GEMS, another way to remember it, sometimes helps students get the right answer because there are only 4 letters. And the question, how many steps are in the order of operation, is 4. At the end of this video, I'm going to allow you to listen to a song, not sung by me, to figure out why these go together in one step. But in please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses, and then exponents, and then multiply or divide, and then add or subtract. And this word or is a really important word that we'll get back to in a little bit. In GEMS, instead of calling them parentheses, they call them groupings because it has to start with a G, and GEMS is a word that reminds us of a diamond, which is kind of what your problems look like when you've solved them. And then you have exponents, and then you have multiplication or division, and this one is subtraction or addition. And the or, again, is a very important word. Let's look at what order of operations looks like when you solve these problems. Our first problem shows 7 times 2 squared plus 6. In order of operations, our first step is the G, the grouping step. And when I look here, there are no parentheses. So I've simply rewritten the exact same problem because I don't have any groupings to evaluate. E is clear the exponents, which means I have to figure out what 2 squared equals. And so I know that 2 squared means 2 times 2, which is 4. So I've underlined that with my red, and then in my red I'm going to rewrite the problem 7 times 4 plus 6. Now it's time to move on to blue, which is my M step. So I underline what it is that requires multiplication or division, and I get 7 times 4. So now I'm going to do 7 times 4 and rewrite the problem with what's left, 28 plus 6. Now I'm at my last step, which is subtraction or addition, and I'm looking here at 28 plus 6, and my answer is 34. Let's look at another one. 4 plus 3 times 2 squared. 4 plus 3 is in a group, it's in a parenthesis, so I'm going to do that even though it's addition, and I'm going to get 7. So you can see I underlined it and then I rewrote it, 7 times 2 squared. My next step, E, is exponents. 2 times 2, or 2 squared, is 4, so I've underlined it and then I've rewritten it. And now I'm at the multiplication division stage and I have 7 times 4, which is 28. There's no need to write the S because there's no addition or subtraction left to solve. This one's a little longer, going to follow the same steps. I'm looking for groups, there are none, so I've rewritten the problem. I'm looking for exponents, there are none, so I've rewritten the problem. Now I'm looking for multiplication or division, and I see 2 sets of multiplication. I've underlined both of them. I'm going to multiply both sets and rewrite the entire equation. So 10 times 2 is 20 plus 5 minus 6 times 2 is 12. So 20 plus 5 minus 12. Now I'm at the subtraction addition stage, and if you notice, I have both here. Addition and subtraction, along with multiplication and division, are kind of a secret sign. You'll hear that in your song in just a minute. Whatever comes first is what you do first. Sometimes I might add first, sometimes I might subtract first. It depends on what comes first. In this problem, 20 plus 5 comes before 5 minus 12. In this problem, 20 plus 5 is 25. So this says 25 minus 12, which is 13. Let's go to this one. When I look at this, I might be tempted to call this a grouping, but a grouping requires an operation. This set of parentheses is another way of writing multiplication. So this problem says 9 times 5 times 2 plus 10, and it's used 2 of the 3 ways we know to write multiplication. So I'm going to rewrite the problem on the G line because there are no groupings. 9 times 5 times 2 plus 10. If you'll notice, I used all the same signs for multiplication, which makes it easier for me. Now I'm going to look for exponents, and there are none, so I'm going to rewrite the problem on the exponent line. And now I'm at the multiplication division stage, and I'm looking and I'm seeing multiplication, 9 times 5 times 2 plus 10. So I'm going to do 9 times 5, 45 times 2 plus 10. This was too much for me to do all in my head at once. 45 times 2 is 90, and 90 plus 10. And if you'll notice, this is all in the multiplication step. I didn't go to a new step. I just kept going until my multiplication was cleared. And 90 plus 10 is 100. Now, let's look at these two, and you try to do them with me in your notes. Let's start by writing our letters. I'm using colors. You don't have to change colors, but sometimes it may help those visual learners if they have the letters written with different colors. So, looking at our problem, we are looking for something that's inside a group, and we have something inside a group. So let's use that grouping color and underline it. 2 times 4 is 8. It's not okay to just write 8 on this line. It's not okay to go ahead and do 8 minus 5. I'm going to rewrite the whole problem on this grouping line, except for instead of 2 times 4, I'm going to write 8. So 20 plus 8 minus 5. The next problem we are at is our E line. On our exponent line, we're going to rewrite the problem because there are no exponents. 20 plus 8 minus 5. And now we're at multiplication and division, and again, when we get to multiplication and division, we're going to rewrite it one more time because there's nothing on this line. Now, there will come a point where you won't have to write the problem 3 times, but for now, to show that you've gone through each step, this is what I'm asking you to do in your journal. And then finally, we're at the subtraction addition. And we remember that addition and subtraction go together. Sometimes you subtract first, sometimes you add first. It just depends on which comes first. 20 plus 8 comes before 8 minus 5. 20 plus 8 is 28. 28 minus 5 is 23. And we've evaluated that expression. Let's try it again. Start by writing your letters. So, on the G line there are no groupings, which means I'm going to rewrite the problem. On the E line there are 2 sets of exponents. You may choose to write one set at a time, or you may evaluate both sets. 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. And 25 plus 10 squared, which is 100, is what I'm going to write on this line. Divided by 5 minus 1. Now I'm on my multiply divide line, and in this problem I have some division. So I'm going to rewrite the entire problem, and when I get to this spot, instead of writing 100 divided by 5, I'm going to write 20. And now I'm on the subtraction addition line. Sometimes I add first, sometimes I subtract first. It depends on what comes first. This one is 45 minus 1, which equals 44. Now, before I get to allow you to show what you know, I'm going to have you listen and write the lyrics of your new favorite song.
Situation, numerical equations, got lots of math going on, use order of operations. Please stands for parentheses, attack them first, then you'll see this clever trick that's going on, use order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Excuse stands for exponents, solve expressions with them on it, no time for frustration, use order of operations. My dear is a secret sign to multiply and divide, work your way left to right, use order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And Sally means add and subtract, left to right, she's got your back. Breaking down problems with ease, it's order of operations. Now you've got it going on. Math facts through a clever song. In sticky situations, use order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
No doubt you liked that. No doubt you heard my daughter singing in the background as you were singing along yourself. Definitely listen to it tomorrow in class. I'd like for you to show what you know. Okay, no groups in the first one, you should have rewritten the problem. No exponents in the first one, you could have rewritten the problem again. The first one that you're going to use is multiply. So I'm going to pull out my blue and I'm going to underline what was multiplication or division. So this problem should say 20 plus 18. And 20 plus 18 is going to be written on the next line because it is a subtraction addition problem. 38 is the answer. Let's check out this one. There are no groups, you should have rewritten it. There are exponents. So with my red, I'm going to write 16 because that's there. Minus 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. And 16 times 0 is the end of it. Now we're going to look at our blue line, multiply and divide. It is going to be tempting to do 16 minus 16, but you can't do that because the S comes after the M. 16 times 0 is 0. So this line should say 16 minus 0. And 16 minus 0 is 16. Okay, let's go down to this one. There's no groupings. There's no exponents. So I'm going to use my blue and underline this. 2 times 4 is 8. So on this line, I should have written 8 plus 8. And on the S line, I'm going to write the answer of 16. Last one, we do have groups. So we're going to do what is in parentheses first. 14 times 2 divided by 4. There are no exponents, so we would rewrite the problem. Multiplication and division, both of them could be solved here. It's going to take us 2 lines. We're going to multiply first because that's what comes first. 28 divided by 4, still writing in blue, equals 7. No need for the S line because there's no addition or subtraction. If you want to rewind and listen to your song one more time, then you'll be ready to sing it tomorrow in class.